and grease bless each port. Diagnostic prayers report. Circuits blessed, spirits sing. Perfect function processing.
Hey, greetings, varlets. I'm Interrogator Salivas, Attaché to Military Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I'm coming at you live in the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the Hive of the Virago. The theme for the stream is, of course, Lament and Hope by the venerable liturgist Adam Bell. We also have music for 140K Mechanicus, which is composed by Guillaume David, and the copyright Bulwark Studios, and music for 140K Dark Tide, which is composed by Jesper Kid, and the copyright Fatshark Games. All our music is provided to us by ende.app and pixabay.com. And over here, have people in the chat. We have the God Emperor Man saying greetings. Greetings, God Emperor. How holds the Astronomicon? And Ragion saying hola hola. How's it going, Ragion? We missed you last Sunday. But yeah, we are back to painting, and we're gonna be doing 2 streams this week. So, yay! We're gonna be painting this Gunnery Sergeant of the Kharadron Overlords. Inquisitor Callahan says, Salve Interrogator, I can't stay for long and chat, but I can keep this on as background noise. Well, hey, I appreciate your patronage. Always do. Thank you very much for coming. And Milady Inquisitor Markham sends her regards. And Ragia says, I know, I was on a road trip and life got me. Oh, okay. How did life get you? What was the road trip? Was it a fun road trip or was it a not so fun road trip? Alright, I'm just prepping here for the stream, for my painting. Let me just what I need. Nope, kid. Where is my camera? There it is. Alright, cool. So yes, this guy I've been dying to paint him for a while. He's of the Grunstock Thunderers. He's the leader, he's the Gunnery Sergeant. Here we go. And I already made my first mistake. I base coated him black, and I should have used my lead belcher spray can to paint him, but oh well. We'll just have to work a little harder today. Regan says we were traveling to the center of my STE failed with mountains and lost signals. What is STE? And then Ragan says, also it was pretty fun. Me, my pastor, and a friend going to a conference. Oh, very nice. What kind of conference? Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start grabbing some paint. Getting these brushes ready. They're a little rusty. Alright, you said you were traveling to the center of your state. Oh, okay, gotcha. Gotta process. I also can't stay long for I have things to do. Well, no one wants to disrupt the Emperor of Man and whatever things he has to do. But good luck, okay? And thank you very much for coming, you know, even if it was for a little while. Alright, so I think I'm gonna start with, good old Lead Belcher. I have two of them. I just decided to, try something here and try to maybe salvage one of my old paints because it had all dried up. I put some water in there, see if that'll save it. And let me bring up... Here we go. Okay, so I'm looking a little bit at my references. And I think I'm gonna have to start coating him with some lead belcher. So at least a helmet. At least a helmet and his gun. Regian says, it's basically a get-together of churches and network. Ooh, okay. Sounds fun. Hope you had a great time. Lord Cursor Callan says, I will send my highest praise her way. Okay. That's awesome. And then, Rayan says, typical of a person who abandoned his son Agron. Low blow. There, Rayan, low blow. Yeah, let's start coating that hit of his. Can I get some paint out of this? Yes, I can. Looks like it's working. Ragion says, I feel like I haven't chaosed in a while. I feel like you're always chaosing. You talk about nails biting and everything all the time. We know, I think that'll start getting some of that paint onto my wet palette. Yeah, we'll be using Lead Belcher, and I will be using our size 3 Grabby. This guy has a lot of detail on him, so I feel like it's gonna take us a while. Yeah, right now we're just starting, so we're not worried about spillage. Anybody doing any fun projects lately? And yeah, Regan, continue to tell me about oh, what's it called? Conference, yeah. How did that go? What'd you do? If you don't mind me asking. And we have Gorble12345 saying just followed. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Gorble. Welcome, Cute and Painting Minis. I'm Interrogator Rosariwas, attaché to Inquisitor Markham of the Order Veticus. And yeah, I'm currently painting my Age of Sigmar Kharadron Overlords Thunderers Gunnery Sergeant. Try to say that 5 times fast. Too many titles. What brought you in today if you're still following? Region says, how's it feel after so long, Inquisitor? Interrogator. Inquisitor is Milady Inquisitor Markham. Yeah, I am an underling. I'm not an Inquisitor yet. One day, though. Hopefully one day. How's it feel? I feel rusty. I'll be honest, I feel rusty. I'm hoping that I'll do this lovely dwarf or Dwarden some justice. We have Necronomicon diciendo, hola Rosy, Squid. ¿Cómo estás, Necronomicon? ¿Cómo te va todo? Necronomicon is an artist on Instagram. I definitely recommend you check out his stuff. Very good artist. Just trying to see right now all the parts that are supposed to be this sort of metallic color. Okay, let me see if I can post Necronomicon's link on here. There it is. Necronomicon pregunta, ¿acabas de comenzar? ¿Qué figura estás pintando? Bueno, estoy pintando, sí, acabo de empezar y estoy pintando el sargento fusilero de los altos señores de Kharadron. Son los, ¿cómo se dicen en español? Enanos. Sí, son una raza de enanos de Age of Sigmar, o la época de Sigmar. I just told Necronomicon that, yes, I'm currently painting the Gunnery Sergeant of the Kharadron Overlords. He's a dwarf. Ragion says, the language of my people, if only I knew what it meant. I mean, it's never too late to learn. I always say it's good to know more than one language. I think I might have actually put that address wrong. Yeah, I did. Sorry about that, Necronomicon. You can't actually go to his page that way. Hold on, let's try that again. There we go. That's the correct link. Bragan says I have to relearn how to breathe every day. I think it's over for me. And then Necronomicon says, gracias por compartir. My content is an SFW. Please don't watch it if you're not interested. I don't want to bother anyone. Yes, very true. If that's not your thing, then don't feel the need to watch. But I know you can draw things outside of NSFW. You've drawn me a couple times, and you've drawn even one of my characters, so I'm really appreciative of that. No, there you go. Yeah, I guess the whole gun is this color. Bodaquizo Callahan says, laughs and juggling, learning 8 different languages at the same time. I do not envy you. That is too many languages to learn at the same time. Just get yourself a servitor that I can help you there. Ragyan says, I just talk enhancing those and pray it works. I mean, that's one way to go. And Necronomicon says, true, I draw your model defending itself against Rule 34. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, trying to remain say-so. And we got Regis Gauthier Ventre just follow. Welcome, Regis. How's it going? Thank you very much for the follow. What brings you in today? I hope you are enjoying the show. I am overwhelmed with all the detail on this model, so bear with me as I continue to look at references. Red Gown says, worst comes to worst, I make a skull throne out of the ones I can't understand. You know, it's these guys that actually made me fall in love with the Age of Sigmar, because I originally was one of those people that were hating on Age of Sigmar, but as soon as I saw these steampunk dwarves, I was like, yes! How did I not know I needed this in my life? And I love these guys. The Leagues of Votann wish they looked this cool. Anybody else here fans of Age of Sigmar? Necromicon dice, sí, mal no recuerdo, los enanos no son los que tienen tecnología que se considera perdida para la humanidad. Sí, es eso mismo, pero estos son los de el mundo de fantasía de Warhammer, porque está Warhammer 40K, o Warhammer 40.000, que es el de futuro, el de ciencia ficción. Y después está el de fantasía, que es en Age of Sigmar, o en la época de Sigmar. Y ahí, claro que en los dos, los enanos son tecnológicamente avanzados, pero en esta versión ellos crean su propia tecnología, mientras la versión de Warhammer 40.000, ellos, ¿cómo se dice? Ellos tienen tecnología que la humanidad perdió, como tú dijiste. I was explaining it to Necronomicon pretty much the difference between the Age of Sigmar Kharadron Overlords versus the Leagues of Votan. Leagues of Votan, they have ancient technology from humanity, but the Kharadron Overlords, they create their own technology. So they're not beholden to STCs like they are in Warhammer 40k. Y Nicologom dice, ok, estos son los de fantasía. Sí, esos mismos. Aunque me encantaría usar estos para Warhammer 40.000, de seguro. Porque me gusta más el estilo de estos que los de Warhammer 40.000. And I told Necronomicon that, yeah, these are the fantasy ones. So I would love to use these in Warhammer 40k because I feel like these guys have a much better style than the Warhammer 40k Dwarves, which are the Leagues of Votan. Después dijiste, me confundí, no te preocupes. Para eso estoy yo aquí, para darte información y pintar. He says, oh, I'm sorry, I got confused. I'm like, hey, don't worry, that's what I'm here for, to paint and explain things. Okay, I think I'm done with all the parts that are this color of metallic. So I think I can start actually adding other metallics on there. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm looking for something right now. Right. You know, I'm gonna continue painting with the lead belcher, and then I'm gonna coat the lead belcher parts. Some of these, because some of these are gonna be a copper color. And I've done this with some of my other Kharadron Overlords, like this fella right here. I'm gonna coat some of it in lead belcher, but then I'm gonna coat over that with a contrast paint. So let's continue. That's why I'm wishing I had used my a rattle can lead belcher. And I think that might be it. Let's just make sure there's enough coverage on all these parts. Okay, he's got the helmet mostly covered in that lead belcher. The gun pretty much is covered. Let me make sure there's some on the bottom here. The leg is covered because the leg is a robotic leg. Get the bottom pieces of his boot. Know what they call the sole of the boot. This part of his armor. His gun is pretty much covered in lead belcher right now. His elbow pads, and I think that should cover everything. Alright, so now let's start with that trick that I was talking about. And we'll start seeing some differentiation between the colors. And we'll be using snakebite leather. And for that, I'm going to use a much smaller brush. make sure I cover only the areas that I want to cover. So I'll be using the size 1 DaVinci. The good thing about these contrast paints is you don't have to really dilute them with water. They're already pretty watery. A little bit from the tip and just start painting away. As you can see, it's already giving it a more copper appearance to the lead belcher. We might have to do some cleanup later just to get the those parts that we didn't want to be a copper color and remain that sort of a metallic gray. But we can clean that up later. And you can already see there's some differences in his armor. He's got lead belcher and a coppery color on his armor. But there's a lot of copper, really, or at least sort of bronze and that kind of like sort of reddish, orangey, brown metals on this original model. Then I want to capture that. So we're going to use some variations on some of the other parts. And that's why I haven't touched some of the other parts just yet. Those are going to have that differentiation that I'm talking about. Double check my reference. Okay, I think we are done with that color. Oh wait, no, we're not. There's a little bit up here that I missed. Alright, it's looking good so far. But I think it's time to start really bringing in the heat with some of the copper. Copper, or I guess bronze. This was more copper. We're gonna make now some bronze. And mind you, the reason why this model, I'm not trying for my usual attempts at non-metallic, is because I already have some Kharadron Overlords, and I would like to keep them in the sort of the same aesthetic. I don't want some of them looking a little bit different, or a little like incongruent with the with what I'm going for. I really love how this guy came out, by the way. I think he's supposed to be like sort of a navigator proxy by Gamak Studios, or Gamak Miniatures. Very cool model. I added the hat. He originally didn't have the hat. I gave him a hat. He came out so good. Him, and then I have this pirate dwarf from the Highland Miniatures line. And then, of course, I have the leader, whose name escapes me at the moment. Yeah, what is the leader's name? Forget. Andrin something? Andrin Master. There we go. Andrin Master. He's the Endrin Master. And the head I actually got from, it's a special head. It's from Maybug Games. Okay, let's find our copper that we'll be using, or should I say our bronze. Okay, so here's what we'll be using. We'll be using Screaming Bell. I love Screaming Bell. It is so bright. It definitely adds character to the model. We're going to stay with the size 1 Da Vinci. I actually picked up the Screaming Bell for when I was starting to paint my Death Guards. So this will make him look more regal. There's very much quite the pop of color. Look at that. Looking nice and sharp on the mustache. Now we're gonna start getting some of his other bits of armor in order to make it look sharp as well. Yeah, looking pretty good, pretty good. We got J-Ray saying hi there. How you doing, J-Ray? How you been? What you been working on? And check it out. This is how we're looking at with our Kharadron Overlord. The Gunnery Sergeant. Gunnery Sergeant! And J-Ray says, cool guy. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you like him. It was one of these guys that actually got me into the Kharadron Overlords. I think it was him himself. I just love... Actually, no, it was the guys in the bubbles. I would love to paint those guys next. The guys in the sort of metallic balloons or bubbles. Those are really cool. That's why I say I wish I could play these guys in Warhammer 40k, because their whole aesthetic, as well as the way they seem to play, with a lot of aerial units with their little metallic bubbles and using steam to fight, is such a cool concept that I feel like they peaked with dwarves there. Because the Leagues of Votann just are not a good alternative to these guys. I don't feel like I could just try to use these guys as proxies for the Kharadron Overlords in order to play, because the gameplay would be so different. And Jerry says, just been playing Factorial and DM for my Draw Steel game. Oh, how's the DMing going? And what are you drawing? Oh, wait, say, you said playing Factorial, sorry. Draw Steel is the name of the game, sorry. Misunderstood that. And yeah, so what's Factorial? And Jerry says top-down base builder is Factorial. Ah, okay. Is it fun? Are you enjoying it? Are you feeling like a proper Adeptus Mechanicus? Okay, we have that shin guard, we have the van braces, we have those sort of shoulder pieces, and we have his beard, or at least his mustache, and parts of his beard in that screaming bell color. Now I'm gonna paint the engine in his back. I think I should be done with this color. I feel like whenever I'm painting my Kharadron Overlords, it's always a tricky game when it's trying to decide what the correct ratio of copper pieces should be. I sort of think I might have to repaint those other copper pieces. I'm not quite feeling the color. I don't think it's coming across like I was hoping. So I might choose a different copper color. J-Ray says, game is mid. I got 3,000 hours in it, by the way. Why do you have 3,000 hours in it if the game is mid? That sounds completely counterintuitive. If a game is mid, you drop it immediately. Yeah, they must switch. Because I am not feeling this color scheme right now. Alright, let's try something a little different. I'm gonna close out my Screaming Skull. And I'm gonna bring in some Balthazar Gold. This will be for those parts that I originally painted with the technique of the snakebite leather. and hoping I can really make him pop. What Wizard account has summoned the Warhammer Fantasy Universe Guild Shouts, I am supreme, and scams the boat captain with the old let us go but not really trick. Oh yeah, I've heard of Balthazar Guild, yeah. Yeah, I watch a lot of Pancreas No Works, and he loves Warhammer Fantasy. And he went on and on about Sebastian Guild. I've tried playing Warhammer Total War, but I don't know, the gameplay just was not working for me. And don't get me wrong, I've played 4X games before. But, you know, this one just wasn't my cup of tea, I'm sorry to say. Maybe one day I'll retry it, but we'll see. But yeah, unfortunately I don't think you can play Balthazar Guild in Warhammer Old World anymore. I don't think it's set in the same time frame when he's alive. Now the issue I'm running into is that I can't quite tell the difference between the Balthazar Gold and the Screaming Bell. But don't worry, we'll figure something out.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen.
Yeah, like I said, now my issue is that I can't tell the difference between the different what's it called? Why am I drawing a blank on the word? The different coppers. Guess they look a little different there. And so there is some differences. It might just need another coat, because maybe it just didn't pool enough. And once I do another coat of both, it should really pop with the difference. The hues of copper and bronze.
Antique exumis
Okay, we're gonna switch back up to the Screaming Gold. Or Screaming Bell, should I say. Try to add another coat to it. See if that does trick. Okay, I think the differences are coming out a little bit more now. Kink in my neck. So yeah, some subtle differences there. It's very subtle, but there's there. And I gotta get this part back here, which I didn't get last time. I'm not too worried right now about painting here in the center console because I plan to make this look powered up, just like I did with my other Kharadron Overlord. You can barely see it here because it's got these tools behind them, but it's definitely powered up. So I plan to make this powered up as well, but obviously it'll be more visible. And as you can see, there is a little bit of differences here and there. Okay. I think it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and go through another coat of the Balthasar Gold and cover up some of the stuff that we missed. Because the bird actually has some copper as well. So we'll be using Balthasar Gold for the wings on the back of the bird.
Domine Deus meus, amo te
Okay, let's make sure that we're done.
Ut vincam additionem nodiam volulius substantiae servus esse. Solum modo tibi servire modo. Domine Deus meus, confirma propositum meum, adjuva meut pugnem contra cupiditates quas habeor altendum medicamentis, et non possum hoc facere sine te, adjuva me, Pater Celestis.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint that little emblem on the top of his helmet. It's gonna be also Screaming Bell. It's bleeding a little too much. Unfortunately, it's a little too watery, the paint. Let's see if I can get some of the paint off the brush. Necrobic dijo, has tomado velocidad para pintar. Gracias, gracias. Aunque me siento medio lento, yo mismo ahora mismo. He says, oh, you've gotten fast painting. I was like, well, I thank you, though I don't feel too fast. I feel a little slow, actually. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to do something here to make it really pop. 'Cause I feel like it's not popping like I would like. I think first things first, let's cover it up in some grime. Let's go ahead and put some Reichland Flesh Shade on there. Okay, we're done with that. Now I'm gonna use a smaller brush than this size 1 Da Vinci. Let's see if we can start adding some highlights. Now I'm gonna start with the parts that I've highlighted with the Screaming Bell. I'm gonna put some some Retributor armor on there. Use the size, there we go, the size 0 Da Vinci. And the God Emperor of Man has returned. Welcome back, God Emperor. Hopefully the Imperium now is in a safer place, now that you've completed whatever it was you had to complete. Now we're just shallowly putting it on top of all those parts, like I said, that I've placed Screaming Bell on. Just really shallow strokes. Try not to go too deep. And there we go, we're getting that nice difference in color. And we're trying to stay primarily with this Retributor armor. We're trying to stay in the areas that are more reflective. So the areas that are more exposed to light. I am loving the sheen that it's getting. Very, very pretty. And Airport Masters, and I have a new project. Ooh, really? Do tell. Is it more Horus Heresy stuff? Or are you expanding to other Warhammer games? Oh, Gunnery Man says Captain Titus and the Wardens of Ultramar box. Ooh. Very nice. Are you gonna play him in 30k or 40k? I know you have your entire 30k Ultramarines army. It'd be a shame not to have a really cool captain like Titus in there. Where are you gonna play it like when he was chapter master? Cause he was chapter. No, he was a captain and went down. Okay, so yeah, because he was originally the same role as Cato Sicarius. Yeah. So he was a captain. So are you gonna play him like he's back in the Horus Heresy and he's the captain of the Ultramarines? Or are you gonna play him for 30k? I mean for 40k. Okay, I think I've covered all those parts now with the rich bit of armor. Gunnery Mats is mainly for 40k, but that ain't gonna come in until this Tuesday. Ah, okay. Is it like a pre-order thing? Is that why? Or did you order it online so it's gonna take a while to get to you? Okay. Now that we're done with the Retributor armor, let's go ahead and highlight the other one. We're gonna highlight it using Secorex Bronze. And I feel like after all these highlights, it's still gonna need some grime. It's like, Dwarf can't be too clean and pristine. So we'll grime him up against some more. Now this one always gives me issues because it's like it doesn't quite mix well. And the Gunnery Permits is bought on Amazon. That is where I get most of my 40k and 30k models from. Oh, okay. You know that if you order through Warhammer proper, and if you have a local store, you can just have it shipped directly there. You can just pick it up and save yourself on shipping and handling. That's usually what I do. Unless I, buy a proxy of some kind. Oh, I haven't heard this song in so long. Beetlejuice. Love this part. Gunnery Sergeant, the closest Warhammer store is about an hour and 20-minute drive if traffic isn't too bad. Whereas the Bellowing Bard in FLGS that is near me is an hour drive away from my house. Ah, okay. Well, hey, sometimes the friendly local game store is always the better choice. That's how I actually got a hold of the Emperor's Children's Box, because the Games Workshop was sold out. But my friendly local game store had it, and I picked it up. And that's when I made my Emperor's Children kit bass to make them into Loyalist White Scars. At some point, I gotta start painting those. He's looking pretty blinged out, I must say. But before we are done with this gold and this bronze and copper and all that, I feel like I gotta give him another level of grime. This time I'm gonna use something a little bit darker. Gonna use some Agrath Earthshade and really cake it on there. He's looking a little too clean. So I'm gonna use this size 3 grabby. Really grime him up. Make him look proper dwarfy. Okay, I think now we've got it. All right, and I think with that, we are done for today. Let's check out how he's looking. Yeah, I'm liking how all that copper's looking now. Looking definitely a little bit more like what I had with the other ones. So they're looking a little closer. I didn't get to do any of the overalls, or the coveralls, I guess, his clothes. But we'll be doing that next week once we start also adding some detail to all that lead belcher. What Inquisitor says, well, I best be heading out. I said once, I will say it again. If you or the lady needs anything to be done in short order, vox me so I can expedite it. I will definitely keep you informed, Lord Inquisitor Callahan. Don't you worry. Thank you for your patronage, as always. And again, if you like what I do and would like to support, please consider subscribing to my Twitch channel or my YouTube channell, or donating to my Ko-Fi at Rosario Basart. And you miss an episode, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, which is also called Rosario Basart, if you're not on YouTube already. And remember that if you'd like to commission me to paint a mini for you, like this one right here, then please hit me up over on Instagram at Rosario Basart. And we have Otoshi6059 saying, hey, Rivas, how you doing, honored brother? I'm doing very well. Just finished painting, or at least finished painting for today, this lovely dwarf. Let me make sure he's on camera. Yes, here we go. This lovely Kharadron Overlord. We still got a long way to go, but I was just working on a lot of his copper and bronze pieces, and I think it's come along very well. Took some trial and error, but he's looking proper dwarfy. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, Ave Imperator, Callahan out. Thank you for coming, Inquisitor Callahan. And thank you for coming, Otoshi, though it's a little on the late side. We're about done for today. But hopefully you can catch us on the next one. But yeah, let's see who we can raid, at least on the Twitch side. I don't know how to raid people on YouTube side, but let's see who we can raid on the Twitch side before we go. Following. And let's give a view to oh hey, it's been a while. Let's just check out Halbernacht. Halbernacht we haven't checked out his stuff in a while. I hit the start the raid. There we go. But yeah, thank you all very much for coming. It's always a pleasure to stream with you, Varlets, and I hope to see you on Sunday, because Sunday we're continuing to play Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. So I will see you on Sunday, and again, next week I will be back to painting this lovely dwarf on Thursday. Yeah, so next Thursday. We will continue to paint our dwarf. Anyway, I've been Rosarios, and I'm signing out from Dark Future. Bye-bye, Varlets!